Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Friends, I'm excited. Today I get to journey for the very first time into the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Episode 1, The Boy in the Iceberg. Now, full disclosure, I've seen pictures of Avatar: The Last Airbender being, advertised and things like that. I don't know a thing about the characters. I know nothing about the story. I even made sure that I'm not even sure how many seasons there are, if there are multiple seasons. I don't know how many episodes there are, if there are multiple seasons, how many episodes are in each season, if there's any like supplemental material. I made sure to go into this one completely in the dark. I didn't want to know a thing about it because apparently it's very, very popular. And whenever I see something like that, obviously a lot of people think it's pretty good. So I wanted to make sure that I could go into this one with fresh eyes to make sure that I'm seeing it for the very first time without any preconceived notions. So knock on wood, I was able to do so. So friends, thank you for joining me on the journey. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time it's time for some cartoons or Avatar: The Last Airbender. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time to take the first step on a brand new path of a brand new journey as we watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, Season 1, Episode 1, The Boy in the Iceberg. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And for the very first time this series, away we go.
Water. Earth.
Ooh.
Fire. Air.
So they're the other elemental.
When the Avatar kept balance between the Water Tribes, Earth Kingdom, Fire Nation, and Air Nomads. But that all changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Oh, wow.
100 years have passed, and the Fire Nation is nearing victory in the war.
Oh, wow, okay.
But I haven't lost hope. I still believe that somehow the Avatar will return to save the world.
I got chills there. I'm not sure what's going on. Good stuff. Good start. Book 1, water. Chapter 1. Okay, so we're going by books. Okay. I wonder if that's the equivalency of a season.
It's not getting away from me this time. Watch and learn, Katara. This is how you catch a fish.
Katara, I wonder if she's the narrator.
Sokka, look!
Katara, you're gonna scare it away. I can already smell it.
So...
I caught one! Hey!
Look, I'm just saying that if I had weird powers, I'd keep my weirdness to myself.
You're calling me weird? I'm not the one who makes muscles at myself every time I see my reflection in the water.
Okay, so only she can bend water, or is there more than one? It seemed like there was just one, but like of each of the elements, but water bending. I like that.
Go left! Go left!
Oh yeah, you're crushed. Not great, guys.
You don't like my steering? Well, maybe you should have water-bended us out of the ice.
So it's my fault.
I knew I should have left you home. Leave it to a girl to screw things up.
Whoa!
You are the most sexist, immature, nut-brained... I'm embarrassed to be related to you!
The water reflecting her emotions.
From now on, you're on your own!
Whoa. What if she can, like, propel them to shore?
You mean I did that?
Yep.
Yeah, you were mad. What's some glowy ice? The boy in the iceberg. Nice. And some fancy footwork. I mean, that's gonna take a little bit. Was that water or steam or something else? There's like an interesting mix of like technology and stuff in this.
That light came from an incredibly powerful source. It has to be him.
Oh, it's just the celestial light. We've been down this road before, Prince Zuko.
Prince.
Why don't you enjoy a cup of calming jasmine tea?
I don't need any calming tea. I need to capture the Avatar. Helmsman, head a course for the light.
I'm assuming this is like the fire people. Is that like a tattoo or some type of like almost like a birthmark indication? I thought it was a black eye at first, but it looks like... If he doesn't have a concussion before, he has one now. Thanks a lot, dude.
I need to ask you something.
He's super young.
What's going on here?
You tell us.
Okay, so he's obviously air, right?
And why aren't you frozen?
I'm not sure.
Batting the stuff away.
Appa! Are you all right? Wake up, buddy.
Wow, what is this?
You're okay.
Oh, wow. What's with the arrow?
What is that thing?
This is Appa, my flying bison.
Flying bison? The brother is very annoying.
You!
Well, Achu, nice to meet you.
I'm Aang.
Aang? Okay.
And flew 10 feet in the air.
Really? It fell higher than that.
You're an airbender.
Sure am.
Giant light beams, flying bison, airbenders. I think I got midnight sun madness.
What's the big surprise here? I mean, your sister bends water, so...
Oh no, I am not getting on that fluffy snot monster.
Are you hoping some other kind of monster will come along and give you a ride home? You know, before you freeze to death?
That makes too much sense for me to refute.
Okay, first time flyers, hold on tight. Appa, yip yip.
Appa says, hold on to your butts. Oh, six-legged. I didn't even notice that.
Wow, that was truly amazing.
Appa's just tired. A little rest and he'll be soaring through the sky. You'll see.
Oh, we trust you. I mean, I certainly think this thing can fly.
I'm going to bed now. Oh. Yep, a man needs his rest.
So I wonder if this guy's a firebender. The prince is a firebender.
Your father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all tried and failed.
Because their honor didn't hinge on the Avatar's capture. Mine does. This coward's 100 years in hiding are over.
That's right. It's been 100 years since the Avatar.
Hey,
Hey,
I like Appa.
you're being an airbender and all? If you had any idea what happened to the Avatar.
no. I didn't know him. I mean, I knew people that knew him.
Well, that means you're 100 years old then, dude. How long have you been in that ice, man? Because if you knew somebody that knew him, he's been gone for 100. Oh, I'm assuming this is a dream, but is this how they got frozen? Nice.
Everyone's waiting to meet you.
What do the arrows mean? He's got 5 of them, one on each foot, one on each hand, and his head. It's so far.
Well, no one has seen an airbender in 100 years. We thought they were extinct, until my granddaughter and grandson found you.
Extinct?
Call me Gran-Gran.
Hey, Gran.
What is this, a weapon? You can't stab anything with this.
It's not for stabbing. It's for airbending.
Oh, wow.
It lets me control the air currents around my glider and fly.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that was fun.
You were saying? My argument here is it certainly seems like air and water from what we've seen so far as like offensive capabilities. Fire obviously speaks for itself, but not that I want them to be offensive. It'd be kind of cool if they were just like utility, but
You're a waterbender.
Well, sort of. Not yet.
All right, no more playing.
oh, you're doing some pretty good water bending.
I finally found a bender to teach me.
Katara, try not to put all your hopes in this boy.
But he's special,
Can a different element teach you, though?
since he's filled with much wisdom.
See? Now let's come stuff like this.
That was bad timing.
Again.
Yeah, see, I mean, this is obviously offensive.
The breath becomes energy in the body. The energy extends past your limbs and becomes fire. Get it right this time.
Are they immune to fire, I wonder?
The sages tell us that the Avatar is the last Airbender. He must be over 100 years old by now. He's had a century to master the 4 elements. You will teach me the advanced set!
Very well. But first, I must finish my roast duck.
Well, it won't take him long, at the rate that he's scarfing that down.
I gotta pee.
Listen, until your fathers return from the war, they're counting on you to be the men of this tribe. And that means no potty breaks. Okay, who else has to go?
All the hands. Yep.
Wow, everything freezes in there.
Ugh, Katara, get him out of here. This lesson is for warriors only.
Why is this guy just so irritated all the time about everything? I'd say he was jealous of Aang, but he's not. He's been like this.
Aang.
So they're like
Hey,
a
come on,
mixture
little
between a
guy.
penguin and a seal, it looks like, with the face.
Aang, I'll help you catch a penguin if you teach me waterbending.
You got a deal.
I don't know, waterbending? Yeah.
You're looking at the only waterbender in the whole South Pole.
This isn't right. A waterbender needs to master water. What about the North Pole? There's another water tribe up there, right? Maybe they have waterbenders who could teach you.
Maybe.
Really?
But you forget, I have a flying bison. Appa and I can personally fly you to the North Pole. Katara, we're gonna find you a master.
That's... I don't know. I've never left home before.
Well,
Well, you think about it. But in the meantime,
you're gonna go as far away from home as is possible on the planet if you go to the opposite pole. You see blood come out, you start screaming. Penguin sleds. Not fair. You're using your air powers. Their father went to help the Earth tribe. I'm assuming when the Earth, water, and air are on the same side, we talked about it, and fire went bad, Captain Planet is going to be so upset.
Whoa. What
Ooh.
is that?
A Fire Navy ship, and a very bad memory for my people. Aang, stop! We're not allowed to go near it. The ship could be booby-trapped.
If you want to be a bender, you have to let go of fear.
Really? What about common sense? Can we hold on to that? The character designs are really interesting. I really enjoy them.
Okay, back up. I have friends all over the world, even in the Fire Nation. I've never seen any war.
Aang, how long were you in that iceberg?
I was going to say, how's he going to know?
A few days, maybe?
I think it was more like 100 years.
What? That's impossible. Do I look like 112?
He's 12.
Think about it. The war is a century old. You don't know about it because, somehow, you were in there that whole time.
You haven't even thought about your own tribe?
Maybe somehow there's a bright side to all this.
I did get to meet you.
That's a bright spot.
Aang, let's head back. This place is creepy.
Why is it off limits? Oh, because it's trapped. Is it coming alive? Oh no. That's not great at all.
Hold on tight.
Nice. Let's get the hell out of here. Immediately knows it's an airbender. Yep.
Wake my uncle! Tell him I found the Avatar.
Yeah, but I mean, is Aang the Avatar? Aang doesn't look like the Aang doesn't look like the Avatar from what we saw from the flashback. Oh shit! Oh man, I got swept up in that. Dave Filoni. Really? Wow, I didn't know that. All right, everybody, we just finished Avatar, The Last Airbender, Episode 1, The Boy in the Iceberg, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everyone, we just finished The Boy in the Iceberg, the first episode of Avatar, The Last Airbender, and right when I was clicking off, I saw directed by Dave Filoni, so I looked it up, and I had no clue whatsoever. Dave Filoni, now known from me for the Clone Wars and Rebels, which I have not seen Rebels. I've seen the Clone Wars. My son and I watched it, absolutely loved it, thought it was fantastic. And of course, Dave has gone on to do so many of the new things with the Disney Star Wars universe with, the Mandalorian and a bunch of, contributed to those things, Ahsoka because of the Clone Wars. So I was very hyped to see his name associated with this. And when I looked it up, it looks as if this was like one of the first credits he has that I think this must have led to, and I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong about this, friends, but timeline-wise, it looks like this maybe led to his job at Clone Wars and Star Wars in general. So if that's the case, this must do pretty well if he's able to secure a higher gig, the gig he has now from this one. So what did I think about this episode? I thought that this episode was visually stunning. I think that the animation was really, really, not only was it solid, it was very organic, which is a good thing since apparently we're going to be dealing with all of these elements. So, kind of capturing the movement of the water and the air and the fire. We haven't had too much of like the earth represented yet. But again, these are all things that need to kind of, in many ways, be unique unto themselves and not have, you couldn't have like stock animation, I think, for each one of these things, because every time you kind of cast like water bending or whatnot, you're going to have a different effect. You're going to be in a different place. It's going to look different. Air, I'm assuming that your animation wise is probably going to look the same or be invisible. You're just going to like fly around like Aang was doing. Interesting stuff. And again, I like the backdrop. We were kind of set inside this world that is at war with the fire people, apparently, having a problem with everybody else. And we're given, organically these drops about what's going on. Right now, everybody in the village, I guess, is of fighting age, has gone off to help the Earth people, fight off the Fire Navy or the Imperial Fire Navy or whatever it happens to be. Very interesting in that respect. So we learn a little bit that the world is in a conflict of sorts. But the other thing that I thought was very interesting was, you had these airbenders, you have these waterbenders, firebenders, presumably earthbenders. We haven't met one of them yet, but it looks as if it's almost like, and again, first episode, I'm not sure if this is true. It looks like it's sort of like a practice on the decline. Does that make sense? Because, Aang was like, well, why don't you have somebody from your village teach you? That statement in and of itself lends so if Aang is 112 years old, like he stated, inside the iceberg for that long, his perception is, oh, well, you come from a water tribe, so there should be several waterbenders who should be able to teach you. There wasn't any mention. See, at first when I saw it, it made it almost appear as if there was like a singular airbender, a singular waterbender, fire, earth, like one person kind of represented that particular element or discipline or whatnot. But with that statement from Aang that, hey, why don't you have somebody else teach you, or somebody from your tribe, to me, that basically says, oh, there's could be numerous benders, water, air, John. I've been thinking about Breakfast Club. So if that's the case, and there are multiple, at least in Aang's world of a century 12 ago, there would have been more benders or a lot of benders. That's why I'm thinking it's on the decline, because what's her name? Katara? Yes, Katara, I think. She's basically said, well, I'm the only person that can do this. And that seemed weird to him. Like, what are you talking about? How is that even possible? So if that's the case, then in the last 100 years, there has been what looks to be a pretty profound decline in people with the abilities to do this bending. And then we had the drop where there aren't any more airbenders, which makes me think, is the air tribe still around? You know what I mean? If they don't have benders, is that because there isn't an air tribe? Or is it to the point now where like people that are being produced, they talked about, oh, the avatar, but see, to me, the avatar sounds like somebody that can do absolutely everything. And that's not Aang, at least not that we've seen. So if you've got an avatar that can do absolutely everything, and Aang is the airbender, um, they were talking, my point being, they were talking about how the avatar, something had happened to the avatar where the spirit of the avatar wasn't reborn in, I'm assuming it's sort of like a Dalai Lama type of situation, that when somebody passes, they either find their spiritual successor, or a baby is born and it inherits the powers of the avatar. I'm not sure how that works or anything, just speculation on my part. But at the same time, so the avatar hasn't been around for 100 years. And now I wonder if that's playing a role in the decreased amount of benders. Because it looks like the firebenders seem to have a couple of people. The prince was fighting and sparring with two people that were definitely bending fire. It seems as if his uncle, I think, the guy that was into his duck and his games and stuff, presumably can also firebend, teach me the advanced techniques and all that stuff he was complaining about. So it looks like the fire tribe, just if I'm going by this very first episode, they have... Could they have had a decrease? Sure, absolutely. But it seems like just on surface level, they've got a healthy amount of benders on their side. There are no airbenders left, they stated a couple times. So I'm not even sure if the air tribe exists or if they've just stopped producing airbenders. And the water tribe is down to one, an untrained waterbender, because there's nobody to teach her. So again, it looks as if something very, very profound in the mystical elements or realm, or however these powers are gifted, or the environment itself or something, has been, its development has been arrested to the point where they are no longer producing nearly as many benders or any. It's interesting, or maybe it's a big rarity now. I don't know. That's my biggest question about all of this is they set it up where it seemed like there were numerous ones, but now it seems like there are only a handful of non-firebenders left in the world. I don't have any way to kind of compare that with the Earth, but still interesting stuff. I mean, I thought that, here's what I think. I think for a very first episode of a story that I knew nothing about, I was given just enough information to, one, make me want to watch more, two, get me thinking about what the dynamics are and like that kind of like the interpersonal, mystical, magical, what is the ecosystem on this planet? And this planet doesn't appear to be Earth. We have, creatures and everything that kind of resemble Earth creatures, but an amalgamation. We had the penguin and what looked like a seal with whiskers, or an otter or something like that. So this did enough to entertain me. I thought the characters were great. The brother was annoying, but I like annoying characters for certain things. I thought that Katara and Aang were really good. I thought that we had a lot of really interesting setup for this. And I think that the biggest draw for me is just how these powers work, how they're gifted. What does that mean? Does it make you long-lived? It has to, because Aang, using his powers, was able to preserve himself he didn't think he was in there for 100 years. He preserved both himself for 100 years and Appa for 100 years, his flying bison. That's very interesting to me because he seems unaware of his ability to do that. He seems here's what I'll say about Aang, and this is what I'll end on. He seems very happy, very nice, very airy. But at the same time, he wasn't like, I have to get back to my tribe, or, oh my gosh, my parents, friends, loved ones, they're going to be looking for me. None of that kind of popped up into his train of thought. He seemed to just want to hang out and things like that. And it wasn't until pressed with that time frame, now I think it's more like 100 years, that he seemed genuinely concerned, or almost like he had just then started thinking about what had happened to him. Very interesting. So I don't know, it's a weird attitude to have after you pop out of an iceberg, but at the same time, we don't know how weird Aang was before he went into the iceberg. At least I don't. I don't know, friends, color me intrigued. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for Saturday morning React-TOONS or Avatar: The Last Airbender. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now unfortunately it's time to say goodbye from Avatar: The Last Airbender, this first chapter of the first book, The Boy in the Iceberg. But as we are part of the Greek chorus, the audience of The Boy in the Iceberg, it is a very vitally important part of the narrative because, friends, we hear what the storytellers say, we understand it, delineate the information, and spread the story, the promise of maybe checking out the story to people that haven't seen it before in the hopes of growing the audience. So we are very, very important to this process. So as a reward, we get to go back into the episode that we just watched and say goodbye from a scene. So friends, here's where I thought we would say goodbye from. We are going to say goodbye from, simply put, the journey from the kind of sundered and icebound ship back to the village, because that's where we leave Katara and Aang as they are walking back, unknowingly being observed by the prince. And it is in that moment of peace, that moment of, hey, I think we got away with it, that I'd like to place us, because that's where we stand after this first episode, on the precipice of a story. So friends, until such time as we can continue this story, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.